Boy, you're welcome. To the barber shop. You're welcome. To the barber shop.
Barbershop Podcast, episode number, I'm going, what, Gary? 248, right? 240, it could be 249.
You are correct, 249.
249. Wow. 249. That's an incredible number. All those years ago, almost 5 years ago, Barbershop Podcast kicked off right here in Hamilton, Ontario at Boxo Studio. Our goal was to grow the audience, introduce people to fantastic, live, original music that they may not otherwise know exists out there. It is an art form, and it thrives in certain communities and is hidden to other communities. Many people don't even know where to find it. They don't know where new music comes from and how to hunt it down, how to put it in your gunny sack, take it home, feed the family. A lot of nourishment there with good original music. And the analogy to food is very legitimate. It is important for every part of your body, for your strength, for your perseverance, for your attitude. Getting something healthy and wholesome in you makes life better. And good, real, live, original music does that. So go out, find it, support it. What we do at Barbershop Podcast, we give you a little sample of it. We say, hey, check this cat, this kitten out. And, of course, after 248, this being number 249, you know there's a lot of them up there at barbershoppodcast.com. Second and final week for Gary Greenland being in here all solo. Ryan Cannon, and probably coming back from Jamaica. He's down there at a wedding. Yeah, so last week and this week, Ryan wasn't here. Gary is handling the show with great aplomb.
He just came back.
Just came back.
Yep.
Just didn't feel like coming in.
No,
I didn't blame him. It's hectic, you know. Flying these days, I tell you. I mean, insert airline joke here. Not going to do that. What we're going to do is we're going to give you a treat. We do that every week, but this is an extra special treat. You know, Kevin's not going to lie to you. On Barbershop Podcast, this is a gentleman I've been hearing about for some time. Kind of blew people away. Showed up at Hello Cat Piano at the St. Hollywood, an open stage. And Kevin always hears the little birds tell him about who's in town and who's impressing. And in short order, this fella was playing at the West End Pub, and he was picked up, managing by a good friend of mine, Ben Washington, and working with Amy Grant over at Grant Avenue Studio. Great things in store for this young man, and it was a great pleasure to have him come in the studio tonight to share his story and his songs, not only with me but with you. In the four corners of the world in high definition and high fidelity, Barbershop Podcast brings it to you. And Christopher Union is in the studio tonight. And Chris, thanks so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
You know what? I ask everyone about how they get started in music, and I'm not going to change now.
Okay.
Your story, is it typical, atypical? What do you think? Were you running to music, or were you running away? What was music to you? Was it something your folks made you do? Was it part of your regimen? And
I think that music personally was a complete left turn if we're talking about being on a certain path. I didn't really have music in the conventional sense throughout my life. No one was playing an instrument. No one was really singing, songwriting, or anything. It was kind of just on a whim that I think sometime in high school I decided to pick guitar as a class. And then once I picked up the instrument, it completely changed my life, pretty much.
And did you take to the lesson format right away? Was that something that appealed to you, the regimen and learning, the excitement of going through the different stages of learning the instrument?
Interestingly enough, I think the way I picked up learning the guitar was learning songs that I liked and almost obsessively watching my favorite artists or just general artists like perform and being able to kind of learn off of that way. YouTube was huge to me because without a resource like that, I wouldn't have been able to learn the way I did. And so I don't think I picked it up in the class per se, because you just kind of had to do like the bare minimum in that and you could get a pretty decent mark. Yeah. But it was different.
What was your musical taste before you started playing versus afterwards? Did it change much?
It really did. Yeah. I don't even think I really had musical taste before playing. I think it was generally just if I heard something on the radio I liked, generally like easy listening is probably what I like trended towards, because music was just kind of in the background for me at the time. But then all of a sudden when I realized I could learn to play music, then it became a different story, because now you're holding these artists and these songs a lot closer to you personally, and then it sort of affects you as a person, for sure. And
did you start collaborating at that point, or were you still very much this was your solace, and you know, where you went to your corner in your dark room and became the tortured artist, or was it something that brought you together with other people?
And actually, that's a big thing, picking up the guitar, because in school I didn't really talk to many people outside of my friends, but all of a sudden picking up the guitar, and I think I played a talent show the first year I picked it up, and I surprised a lot of people that knew me, but then all of a sudden once you play in front of your whole school, now everyone starts to know you, and you sort of naturally become more social, and more interactions tend to occur. Yeah. Once that happens. It was really, really strange, definitely.
That gives me joy, because, you know, being an old guy, that always was the case, you know, that you, and I was a bit oddball, you know, there's a few of us who were big guys who played football and sports, but also played guitar and played music, but often it was for, you know, to meet girls, you know, or to improve your social circle, let's say. Not the main reason. You had a love for music, but there was a certain payoff to show, hey, this person can demonstrate their flair, their style, their personality. Did you surprise yourself with what came out? Yeah, absolutely.
Because honestly, it was a whim when I chose guitar. I thought to myself, oh, I think I can get a decent mark in this course, right? That's all I considered it was. It was not. It couldn't have worked any better to have no expectations walking into something like that and to have it change your life forever. Yeah. In terms of playing, though, I think I definitely started off more playing other people's songs, and then writing was definitely more recent than anything.
Yeah. Who was your, who did you look for to give you support, or at least tell you the truth about where you were on the curve? Because it's hard to tell sometimes, and it'll take a teacher or someone who sees a lot of people go through them to say, hey, you got something here. You really should double down your efforts. Did you get that? Did you have someone who took you aside and made it a personal point to say you're a little bit better than average?
Absolutely. I think it was exactly when Benjamin Washington discovered me at one of the open mics at the now defunct Hello Cat piano stage, which is now still an open mic night, just not Hello Cat anymore. Yeah. It was Ben who took me aside and said, you know, you've got something here, and he just wanted to work with me after that. He said he decided right then and there. I think he said within the first 4 bars of hearing the song.
And especially once you hit your 50s, you realize I only want to work with people who inspire me. It's going to take a certain amount out of me, and that's what I want.
That makes sense, yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's give people. How would you describe your style to people who ask you what you play?
I think my comfort zone, or a large chunk of the style that I play offhandedly, would probably be closest to something reminiscent of jazz pop, where we're still trying to figure out if that's an actual thing or not. People call it like new jazz, vocal jazz, etc., etc. I'm still not sure, but it's definitely close to jazz pop.
Well, maybe people out there in the far corners of our audience can help us in the comments below. Tell us what you think and what it makes you think of. We're going to get Christopher to strap on his thin line telly and ask him about how he got the guitar. And again, it was just a series of fortunate events that kind of come together, and this fella's life seems to be a tapestry of those things, very much earned And
Thank you.
what are you gonna play for us first?
It's going to be a song that normally I perform as Union and Kay, as part of a duo that I perform with my friend and fellow artist Sheena Kay. It's called Sway, and yeah, we'll give it a spin.
We'll give it a spin. All
Yes.
right, you're gonna hear some Sway. You're gonna hear it from Christopher Union right here on BarbershopPodcast.com.
Yes. Sway. Feels like I've been late to the party, far from fashionably missing the way that they sway. Tired of the movements without too much feeling. Let's get away from that place. 'Cause I don't know if they still slow dance, but I like to try. It's been a while, sad a smile, no I can't deny. The way that you move defies the test of time, so timelessly sway with me, love. Da 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 la da 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 la da 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 la da 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 da. We don't have to dress up, although it might be nice to consider the stars as our ceiling above. I confess I'm not the best at moving to the beat, but for you my two left feet will move the right way. 'Cause I don't know if they still slow dance, but I like to try. It's been a while, that a smile, no I can't deny. The way that you move defies the test of time, so timelessly sway with me, love. La da 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 la da 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 la da 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 la da da la da 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 la da da da. 'Cause you're giving me the shivers, baby. Giving me the shivers, baby. Giving me the shivers, oh, oh, oh. And I don't mind, no, no. And if you'd like to rest, there's a spot on my chest. Shoulders, whichever you prefer. I confess, still not the best at moving to the beat, but for you I'll always be trying to sway. Oh, sway. La da 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 la da 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 la da da. 'Cause I don't know if they still slow dance, if they still slow dance. Timelessly sway with me, love. Timelessly sway with me, love. Oh, would you timelessly sway with me, love? Baby, timelessly sway with me, love.
Yeah, that is Christopher and he is our guest right here on Barbershop Podcast. He's part of, as you mentioned, Union and Kay. They are a duo. You see them quite often down at Zyla's. Is it Zila's? Zyla's? Zyla's, killer place on James Street here in Hamilton, Ontario. A lot of great things coming you can be looking forward to. So now that you've kind of started writing, and putting together this concise feel of what you are, you must be kind of digging into the University of YouTube and really feasting on some of the great jazz masters who are out there and the different styles. Did you watch the Ken Burns documentary? Did you see that yet?
I don't think I have.
You have to see that. Absolutely fantastic. Of course, you are a product. Like, none of this has come, like, you didn't set out to say, I want to sound like something. I want to have a reminiscent. This is just what really came out of you, right?
Well, actually, like, that's like
There we
95% of it. The 5% was subconsciously, I felt like I knew what I didn't want to sound like, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
It was...
You wanted a mature kind of... it reeks of legitimacy. It doesn't sound pretentious or put on.
Thank you.
And that's something we always have to kind of be
aware
of.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's people can tell.
Mm-hmm.
And good on you. And it must be. And again, that's not something that's going to sour in time. It's going to find an audience. It's going to secure that audience. And it's probably going to be a half-decent paying audience that can drink better wines and eat certain fried French cheeses. And that's not a bad thing by any means.
That's definitely the goal, the dream.
So what do your folks think? Were they people who wanted to see you become a doctor or get into sciences, and they're a little disappointed in the whole music thing?
Absolutely wanted me to live the Canadian dream in this case, and that was to go to school. I mean, even myself taking the class, it was for marks, right?
Sure.
Like that was the MO. But once I sort of kind of studied but still played music at the same time, I realized it wasn't something that was going to go away anytime soon. And so eventually my mom came around.
Had to be your biggest supporter at some point in time. You got to, Mom. Like, he's so good.
No, she's number one. She's number one.
Number one.
Hi,
and that's when you've got something, you've got to show it. And it's a long life, right?
Absolutely.
You can still be a doctor. You can still be a lawyer. But right now, you can be a rock star. All right. And it's not what they say. Like, it's not full of, it's hard work. I mean, and you must know that the people you meet are so talented, so dedicated, and in many ways so selfless. They get a bad rap for being vain and selfish, but nothing could be further from the truth.
Absolutely. I've only had positive experiences with the musicians that I've worked with in the local scene. Matt King was one of the very first guitar players. I would consider him a guitar slinger. He's really, really good. He decided to work with me at different ventures, different projects, performing live as well. And he's a fantastic person, talented to boot too. Along with that, there's Nick Burson, HMA winner. Yep. Nick Burson for percussion. He's a fantastic gentleman. He also plays and works together with me every so often as well. They're all just genuinely great people. Even just good experiences all around.
Enriching, and it's good for your soul. I can't stress that, and I believe it comes through when you listen to the music. Like mitochondrial DNA, it is in there. You get all of the mojo rolled into that. All right, we're gonna do another tune. What's the next one you've got lined up for us? What's it called?
This one is going to be called Bright Eyes.
Bright Eyes. I like it. Keep it a little bit flat-footed so it comes out fresh and hot, just the way we like it. Bright Eyes, Christopher Union, right here.
Onion works too.
I'm on a roll on barbershoppodcast.com.
I don't know if I can make it in this cruel, cruel world. Another day that takes me and goes by. Oh, I'll try until the day I die. But it's not so bad with you by my side. 1, 2, 3, 4. In the city, golden rose looks so pretty, standing there alone, dreaming of anywhere but home. She told me London, New York, Paris, or even Tokyo. Hey, oh, bright eyes, won't you come and say goodnight to this town of lullabies? Take my hand, bright, bright, bright eyes. Down to the countryside, we'll see the view. Over mountains, silver streams, oh the hues. Almost as beautiful, almost as wonderful as you. Oh, let's climb a mountain high, high. Come on now, don't be shy. Plant your feet to the ground, put your hands up to the sky, and you'll be fine. Fine. Oh, bright eyes, won't you come and say goodnight to this town of lullabies? Take my hand, oh, bright eyes. Bright eyes. Take my hand, bright, bright, bright eyes. Bright eyes.
All right, Christopher Union right here on Barbershop Podcast. You got any upcoming gigs in the next little bit?
Actually, speaking of Xylas, I have a show there tomorrow as Union, opening up for Union and K. So I'll be playing to open for the
For
duo.
yourself?
Yeah, for the
nice.
duo. It's gonna.
I get a bonus for that.
Yes, you get all your yayas out, as they say.
Exactly. One of you will say, I'm hoarse now. I gave it all in the opening.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, Kay.
I get to be all dramatic.
Yeah, now it's your turn. All right, check it out. And that is on James Street North. What's the address and number? Remember?
299 James Street North.
299 James Street North here in Hamilton, Ontario. The place is called Zyla's.
Yeah.
And check them out on Facebook or any of the social media.
Absolutely.
All right. Speaking of social media, and people who work with media, how your media gets done, the stuff that gets done, who does it for you? Well, we got people who do it for us, and they are H&G. And if you are a musician or someone who is too busy to get a lot of stuff done that you mean to get around to, that you never quite do get around to, let H&G do it. If you're a musician, you probably lead a pretty busy life. If you need an extra set of hands, not literally, because usually two is quite enough, but people to do stuff for you, H&G Entertainer Services help. They're not agents or managers, but they're helpers. They know a little bit, and what they don't know, they'll ask around and find out for you and assist you with that busy lifestyle you have with juggling so many things like you do, scheduling, the booking, social media, really good at taxes and bookkeeping, those things that people tend to forget or don't put the attention to. H&G will do that for you. And check them out right there. There's the number. There's the email. And highly recommended. Take good care of us. All right. We've got Christopher in the studio tonight. He plays a really slick, cool brand of jazz pop. The moniker is still being searched out. It is unique, and it kind of stems from his thoughts, his feelings. Who are some of the influences that you feel that maybe you might want to pass on to someone who you listened to growing up, or someone who deserves a shout out, kind of in putting the bricks in your building, as it were?
Absolutely. Well, first and foremost, Benjamin Washington.
Yeah.
Because he does everything, photography, and in this case, musical. Kudos to him, because he plays well. And definitely writing together with him is huge inspiration as well. You get to really see someone's thought process. It's really nice to be able to write with someone like that. In terms of big name artists, I think right off the top of my head are probably the Beatles. Most definitely the Beatles.
Yeah. The harmonies or the music, what caught you? It's hard to say with the Beatles, because they had so many different tunes that just have so many wonderful ways of sucking you in.
It was the magic. They had a magic that probably came together with four talented dudes that worked really hard, plus the fifth Beatle, which was their manager and producer as well. And I think that's what helped kind of make them immortalized, was that combination of all those factors, like the hard work and the third ear, that it all comes together. And also it helps that my mom knew the Beatles growing up too, so I kind of had them floating around.
Yeah. Did they have a kind of cool record collection, your folks at home?
Not much that I can speak of. We'll go with the Beatles being definitely the coolest
with
thing.
YouTube, you didn't need that much, right? You just needed to somewhere to start your search.
Absolutely.
And go down that. And what a great musical university! I would say time and time again. It's just fantastic. I could watch music all day, and I don't want to say I want to listen to music, but seeing some of those historical shows and some of those people in the prime of their life when musical. Was basically being invented, like the same as we're all doing now. No one had a historical perspective on it.
Yeah.
They had no idea that it would become a cultural, iconic part of North American worldwide life.
Absolutely.
It's wonderful. It is music. We should all be doing another shot of music. We're going to do that right now. We're going to do 3, and then we're going to do a video, and then we're going to do 3 more. So I'm going to make you decide, pick one of your babies. Which one would you like to do next?
Which one of my babies? This is probably going to be, it's one of the earlier tunes that I wrote, for sure. So it's nice to be able to play it. It's called Be Kind.
Be Kind. We all got to believe it. We all got to do it right here on barbershoppodcast.com.
but it starts from then. Take a deep breath and be kind, don't you know, don't you know, if you treat yourself this way, then the world will turn to gray. Be kind, you're not alone, you're not alone. But if you hurt yourself this way, then someone else is not too far away. This isn't to say that you shouldn't be working hard. Results are what they see, but the stress will show the most to those that are close, and the healing won't be done so easily. Take a deep breath, yeah, and be kind, don't you know, don't you know, if you treat yourself this way, then the world will turn to gray. Be kind, you're not alone, you're not alone. But if you hurt yourself this way, someone else is not too far away. But the stress will show the most to those that are close, and you'll say something that you don't mean to say. What will you do? What will you do when the love turns to hate? Be kind. Be kind. Hey. Da da dum 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 da da dum dum da da dum dum. Something like that, yeah.
Skillity wow. It was
Skillity
really,
wow,
yeah,
yeah.
skillity wow. It was going, was taking me way there at the end now. I liked it. It is good, and it's only going to get better. I can just imagine as you mature and you become thick of jowl and, scruffy of face, and you be able to put on this smokiness that, amazing. Like you sound, if I closed my eyes, I wouldn't think of you. I mean, it's like, I'm sorry, but
no, don't be.
It's like, and that's
that.
and I'm saying that means that it comes from something, and we see it time and time again. You see a tiny little, 90-pound girl blow the roof off of a house. And it's just like, okay, that's. It's like strength trainers who try to get the rest of us, and it's like you don't understand that it's either the natural selection or God, or whoever one you look at it, just perfect, and you can tune that up with strength training, but we'll never get there. With some people are just
different
blessed,
body types,
and it's the same with musical. Like there are innate abilities, and then of course they must be honed and you must be recognized. But when you see that there's a propensity, a penchant, and a passion all put together, it really does provide results. You seem to me to be a pretty results-driven fella, right? What are some of the other things you like to do other than music?
I think music is definitely one of the only things that I truly like to do in terms of like passion combined with being able to put it into tangible action.
Yeah.
But in terms of like working, I work at farmers market,
Yeah.
and that's kind of like wholesome for me.
Yeah.
Because even as like a day job, it's nice to be able to interact with people, sell good food. You make a lot of friends in the market as well.
It's true, and it's a big part of Hamilton, and that's the fact that we struggled with that for a little while, and now it's integral. And when you go down there and invest in the city,
Yes.
you know, it's. I've always had a fantastic, like some of the best meals coming out going down there without an idea in mind. You have nothing. You just say, let's go down on an adventure and see what we're gonna come home with. And I'm always surprised because sometimes someone has left and someone else has come in. So now, you know, there's Mennonite lasagna and there's, you know, tuna
food
steaks from all over the world.
All over the world, yeah. Like you have samosas that are like handcrafted, sold there. You have, like, I make Japanese noodle soup, so that's ramen. That's just in the corner there. You have like just a whole number of different cultures.
Yeah, our friend Karen over there pumping out homemade ice cream at Henry Brown's. It's good stuff.
Karen person, Henry Brown's.
Henry Brown. Yum, yum, yum.
Yes.
Let's stop that.
Salivation.
Just right now.
Oh my goodness.
All right, we got a little video of yours that you put together. Great song from great man. Were you a Johnny Cash fan at all growing up, or was this something that just kind of...
That was new. Johnny Cash, a lot of like the foundations of fantastic music, fantastic artists, all are new to me.
Yep.
A lot of them anyway.
And you're just soaking it up. Say, gimme, gimme, gimme.
Yes.
What a great opportunity. And you could be on the ground floor here, you know, get involved, be a fan of this fella, and be a supporter, and check out this great little Ring of Fire right here. Johnny Cash, Christopher Union, right here on barbershoppodcast.com.
Enjoy.
Is a burning thing, and it makes a fiery ring, bound by wild desire. I fell into a ring of fire. I fell into a burning ring of fire. It went down, 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 and the flames went higher, and it burns, burns, burns. The ring of fire, the ring of fire,
The ring of fire.
the taste of love is sweet. When hearts like cowards meet, I fell for you like a child. Oh, but that fire went wild. I fell into a burning ring of fire. It went down, 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 and the flames went higher, and it burns, burns, burns. The ring of fire, the ring of fire.
The ring of fire.
I fell into a burning ring of fire. It went down, 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 and the flames went higher, and it burns, burns, burns. The ring of fire, the ring of fire, the ring of fire, the ring of fire.
the school of broadcasting. This is for Ben Washington and Dick Gray out there. Ben sent a message that said, Dick Gray wants you in his office. Broadcast journalism, Mohawk College, 1983. I was there. I was going to be one of the future broadcasters of this nation, and little did I know that a mere 35 years later, or 30 years later,
You're living the dream.
living the dream. Oh, man. And I tell you, if you want to go anywhere to learn about broadcasting, the last place you want to go is fucking college these days, because their head is so far up their fucking ass. I mean, back then, seriously, we had all the old fuddy-duddies who came in and they said, what are we going to do? They're no good for this. Well, let's teach the young kids about stuff that was 30 years out of date, right?
Yeah.
But they got your money, so that's all they care. I remember in the first week, someone came in there and said, he said, nobody in here is getting a job. And we're all like looking at each other. It's like, do you think they should have told us this beforehand? He's like, nah, it's like they're counting all the grocery baggers and everyone else. So you're pumping out this, and a lot of colleges pumping out all these journalists. It's like, where are you going? There's only so many stations, and they're not, and no one, and it was just kind of sad, but stuck it out, did the course, and taking art and literature and English and a lot of bullshit economics and stuff. Like, what's that got to do with? And then we did like one radio documentary in the first year and one TV documentary. It'd be like, I'd be thinking, you do 2 a week. Yeah. That's all you do. And
you got to grind.
Yeah, you got to grind. And it was, the TV students would look in the broadcast journalism and they would say, I need on-screen talent, and I always looked older. I was buying beer when I was 15, so I was a good face to have in college in the first year. To do that and start doing those projects. But even more so today, went up and had a co-op student. It was a complete useless boob, went up at 8:30 in the morning. The whole class was asleep. They couldn't give a fuck, and they're basically teaching stuff that will, they have no independent media courses. They have nothing about podcasting, nothing at all.
So it's not even updated. Like,
no. And so they're teaching you how to go work for TSN or go work for CTV or the Weather Network or something like that, as they've been doing for years. And, although you can, hone your on-camera persona and you can learn how to, operate editing machines and Pro Tools and whatnot, it's like, as far as looking on to tomorrow, what inevitably happens in any business is people are scared for their own ass. And instead of like saying, okay, I'm ignorant, ignorance is the fuel for knowledge. Knowledge is going to secure my future. Yeah. Ignorance is good. Let's act on it instead of just, black out. It doesn't exist.
Well, it becomes a comfort zone, a blanket.
We'll belittle this. We'll ignore it, until it's too late. Exactly. So the future is already here. I mean, this is the we're seeing around the world, people are getting amazing programming, from science, entertainment, technology,
taking it into your own hands.
It's
grassroots in a way.
Someone's going to tell you you're too short, you're too tall, you're too fat, you're the wrong color. So you'll never get a chance to work, and the internet is full of skinny, buck-toothed, pimply-faced people with incredible talent.
Exactly.
And it's like, fuck you. It's like, I really love, and I hope that all of us defend, free media and don't fall for a scam that wants to control our media. It's been, the internet's been so fantastic. It's because it's been unregulated. It's been the Wild West. It's allowed it to grow. People have been allowed to turn it into the amazing thing that it is. Let's not let the government censor it, control it, and destroy it.
Absolutely.
On that note, you going to play a happy song for us?
Oh.
Take us away, Billy. Take us to a happy place.
A happy place? All right. I was going to save it for the end, but if...
No, you don't have to play the happy one now. You can play the middle of the road one now. What do you got for us?
This one's a new one, written exclusively with Mr. Washington.
Oh, I like this. I like the sounds of it. What's it called?
Talking to You.
Talking to You. Right here on barbershoppodcast.com.
starting conversation. Walls they drip like ice. Your words cut the air, blunt knife. And I can see you bleed so freely. That wound flows so freely. That's why I'm talking to you. That's why I'm talking to you. That's why I'm talking to you and you and you and you and you. That's why I'm talking to you. Ending conversation. The past is never nice. You can see it in the mirror. Should take your own advice. And I'm done with you. We ain't doing this or twice. Since said I'm done with you. We ain't doing this twice. That's why I'm talking to you. That's why I'm talking to you and you and you and you and you. That's why I'm talking to you. Oh, did you let it all go? Oh, did you let it out? Oh, did you let it all go? I said I'm talking to you. Oh, did you let it all go? Oh, did you let him out? Oh, did you let it all go? That's why I'm talking to you. And 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 you. I'm talking to you.
Oh, yeah, that one's definitely got the stink of Ben Washington all over it. He says stranglers or some sort of... it's wonderful. I love sitting down and working and letting that creative vibe flow and having that faith in yourself and your fellow man to let your guard down. It's one of the hardest things we have to do as humans is to be willing and open to criticisms, understanding that probably 1% of them that you'll field in the world really come from a malicious place. You know, we just immediately assume that to be the case.
That's a big part of ego, right? Like as soon as something threatens you, all of a sudden you default to a reactionary like stance almost. Everything is there to make you feel a certain way, or you're the victim in every situation, but you can't progress as a person if you... And I believe that there comes a point when you realize that people talk about a light coming on, where you all of a sudden hunger for this. Yes.
I hunger for this feeling because I know that I'm about to get my fix.
I think you kind of deciphered the song a little bit, Kevin.
Yeah, I did.
Yes.
Maybe you can too. Well, it's going to be coming. I know you're going to be working. Any idea? I guess people just have to follow, pay attention. No, when you're going to have this record out.
Project, right?
Yeah, looking forward to it. All right, I want another one. I want another live tune. What are you doing for us?
This one is also a Ben Washington and Christopher Union co-write, but definitely a different feel to it.
Like good feel. So you can't always think you got what you think you got.
There you go.
Right here on barbershoppodcast.com.
eastern skies. The rhythm of the clouds go by. From eastern skies to the diamond blues in your eyes. You keep my feet on the ground. Life's just better when you're around. You're a treasure beyond measure. Beyond from eastern skies. The rhythm of the clouds go by. From eastern skies to the diamond blues in your eyes. 'Cause you keep my feet on the ground. Life's just better when you're around. Said you're a treasure beyond measure. Oh, beyond my eastern skies. Hey, oh, the rhythm of the clouds go by. Oh, my eastern skies to the diamond blues in your eyes. In your eyes. Eastern skies. Something like that.
Something like that. Sweet sound, sweet sensation. I know so many of you are going to dig this cat. This is Christopher Nguyen. He is either available. He is a solo artist with Union and K. And I imagine you having those sweet, first time you sat down and the vocals started all blending together, probably really blew you away, right?
Holy moly. Once you, it helps because not only is Sheena K talented and has a fantastic tone of her voice, but it's complementary. We're in this kind of sweet little, not pocket, because I almost feel like that's too small, like a space that works really well for us. And as like a jazz pop kind of sound, you want it to be almost effortless. You want it to be smooth. You want it to be able to take people away or to kind of buffer them into this atmosphere.
Beautifully put too.
Thank you.
Because I think that for me and someone who went through my record collection once said is you don't have every record, Kevin, but you've got something for everyone, you know. And I really do, right across the board, love the music because each one does a little something different. It takes you away, makes you feel a little different, and finding that within your own music, that's the biggest thrill when you take something that you've chiseled out and then it starts to flesh out and takes on a new life when someone else interprets and shares and grows it with you.
Yes.
Great experience. And these are things that you can, get a hold of. When you buy a CD, piece of physical music. Take it home. That's why you should always keep your 8-track players, keep your cassette players, keep your record players, keep your reel-to-reel players, keep your VHS hi-fi, your beta hi-fi, anything that plays quality music on.
Yeah, nothing's quite like analog, and especially vinyl. There's that's a quality you can't. After compression and everything, music sounds kind of tinny, almost, or a little robotic in a way when it comes through MP3.
It's true. It's true, and nothing like a creamy WAV file. And you know, I'm kind of called back on CDs because I come from the era that CDs were oversold, and we all kind of were looking to get rid of our records because they were bulky. But CDs were supposed to be all these things, and they didn't perfect the technique. They didn't understand there was a mastering difference, and a lot of the CDs disintegrated, fell apart itself.
Yes.
Didn't sound that good. They didn't last that long.
Yep.
But to hear a good quality WAV file now is just wonderful. Like you put on a nice CD through a nice stereo system, just full of those rich dynamics.
Absolutely.
It makes it go, okay, MP3s has its place. You know, you want to cram a lot of information on a small space. That's great. But treat yourself to a WAV file.
Car stereo. Popping the CD in there. A lot of people enjoy music to a whole nother degree when it comes to like the higher quality sound.
It's true. And treat yourself.
Yes.
You deserve it. You deserve it.
Listen to music the way that it was, designed.
It's for here. And we do this here in the studio because it's come to the point where, it's very much a visual thing when you're mixing and making records now. And you have to say, no, I don't care what it looks like. What does it sound like? And constantly give yourself a break and walk and step away from it because your ears get tired, and you have to respect it and say, I need to come and have fresh, unbiased ears. And sometimes that's, all the difference in the world. You've seen it, I'm sure. The smallest, subtlest little change. It's for formulaic, I guess you could say. All right. And with that formula in mind, we got one last song Christopher's going to play for us. And what's it going to be, my friend?
This one is going to be a song called World to Love.
World to Love. And what's not to love about a world to love, right?
Exactly.
Much better than a world to hate. Let's all get it together, people.
Yeah.
No
definitely.
hate. Right here on barbershoppodcast.com.
Hate's overrated.
The same old string, same old things of mundane. It's insane, get out and say, hold on. Hold on. Because I wish and wanting the best things for me, myself, and I. So done with those thoughts. Could we take a chance? That someone could use a helping hand. 'Cause if you have yourself some troubles and doubts, please don't keep them in. I'm here for you now. 'Cause we're not going down that dark road no more. I light it up, 'cause we all have a world to love. Saying that you don't know where to go. If you're wondering, you're not alone. No, I'm sure it's the start of something new. It might be hard to see, but it's true. You can be what you want to be. Do what you want to do. Even if no one else says it, you're a work in progress, and I believe in you. So if you have yourself some troubles and doubts, please don't keep them in. I'm here for you now. Whoa. 'Cause we're not going down that dark road no more. Let's light it up, so you all see there's a world for you and I to love. A world 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 to love. So if you have yourself some troubles and doubts, please don't keep them in. We're here for each other now. 'Cause I don't want to go down that dark road no more. And let's light it up, 'cause we all have a world to love. Thanks for having me, Kevin.
It was my pleasure. It was Gary Greenland's pleasure.
Yes.
And I guarantee you it was everyone out there's pleasure. Gary did a hell of a good job with
Yes, he
that
did.
sound. No, wait till you hear the mix, man. It is fantastic. It is always a pleasure every week at Barbershop Podcast. Gonna have Smoke and Jazz Trio in here next week.
Ooh.
Yeah, and then the week after that, what we got? Man, we got like a month left, and it's all great. It's all booked. I think I got one show left to book, the 22nd, and that's it.
Wow.
And that's it. We're coming back with a new format next year, monthly show. But it's crazy. It's crazy good. And they're all there online for you. Thank you so much, brother.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. Love you guys. See you next week on BarbershopPodcast.com.